Welcome to Graduation Commencement, Class of 2001. Please stand for the playing of the National Anthem. I would now like to introduce the salutatorian, Elizabeth Faulkner.
I'm going to be reading part of a work by Roger Waters called Breathe. Breathe, breathe in the air. Don't be afraid to care. Leave, but don't leave me. Look around and choose your own ground. For long you live, and high you fly, and smiles you'll give, and tears you'll cry. And all you touch, and all you see, is all your life will ever be. I would now like to introduce our Student Association President, Tim Naylor.
Yeah, Tim.
I stand here before beloved parents and amazing faculty and adored friends. I wish that I could give to all of you a speech that makes you leave this stadium inspired and prepared to enter the real world outside of the high school, but I cannot. What I can do, however, is tell each and every one of you why I love Morristown High School. I spent hours trying to write my speech, and after extensive words of wisdom given to me by many of those who care, I came back to the advice from my mom and dad. My mom told me that our experience in high school is unique to that of all other high school students in the world. We enjoyed it. My dad told me to brainstorm by creating lists of different experiences I had during high school. The result is a top 10 list of why the class of 2001 enjoyed Morristown High School. Number 10, 2 straight years winning Powder Puff football. Number 9, Mr. Winston and the Hips. We love you. Number 8, our memorable pep rally victories. Freshman year, we beat the seniors in football. Sophomore year, Jake Wright buried the half-court hurl. Junior year, we ran the show in 2-on-2 soccer. And finally, this year, Dave Burris came out covered in cream for a blowout in the pie eating contest. 7, bombardment, pass, catch, and run, volleyball, and those unforgettable gym class softball moments. 6, our astonishment at the first homecoming dance and the fun we had at all of the homecomings thereafter. 5, David and the boys soccer team winning the first state championship this year, only to be followed by state titles from an outstanding football team and both lacrosse teams. 4, prom and the after parties. 3, teachers like Mr. Rhodey. 2, senior class trip, Space Mountain, Splash Mountain, Rock and Roller Coaster, The Hulk, Dueling Dragons, and Spider-Man 3. All of these made possible by FastPass. And number 1, senior year, second semester. These experiences were all enjoyable because we made them that way. If we had walked into the gym on the night of homecoming and decided that gyrating our pelvises to the beat of the music was stupid, then there is no way that we would have had fun on those crazy nights. Instead, we put our inhibitions aside and did exactly as our motto, Carpe Diem, tells us. We seized the day. However, our class hasn't just seized the day, we've lived life to its fullest and seized the years, like never before. Classmates, today is our last chance to seize the moment together. From this second until tomorrow morning at 8 a.m., I implore each one of you to enjoy our last moments together, because this exact same group will never come together again. While you are enjoying these final moments in the limelight, I also want you to consider all of the people who made those moments you captured possible. Our parents, who put up with our relentless garbage and still found it within themselves to encourage us to excel. Our teachers, many of whom are more than just teachers, but also our friends. Our coaches, who would not settle for less than the best we could give. Our community, taxpayers, and volunteers who have spent their time and money to enhance our education. And lastly, anyone else who has committed themselves to improving our experience in the Morristown school system. We, the class of 2001, thank you for believing in us and creating these memorable opportunities for us. Classmates, tonight at Project Graduation, when you feel tired and want to go to sleep or sit down, I hope my words echo in your mind. Carpe diem, carpe diem, carpe diem. I would now like to introduce the Madrigals and Miss Haynes to perform a musical selection.
Okay, Jim.
evening. My name is Mark Thompson, and we'd like to take this opportunity to recognize the recipients of scholarships and awards. The Bob Allen Scholarship, Jane Morley, Matthew Wisnowski, and Laura Giddens. The Morristown Garden Club Scholarship, Kristen Cameron. Virginia Ostermiddle Scholarship, Marissa Weaver. Richard L. Barber Jr. Memorial Scholarship, Michael Grace. Burlington County College Challenge Scholarship, Ben Fromm. Burlington County Counselors Association Eye Care Award, Brian Lehman. Burlington County Times Scholarship, Patrick Meamy. Judith Ann McQuaid Chesner School Spirit Scholarship, Timothy Naylor. Commerce Bank of New Jersey Scholarship, Allison Merriam. The Nicholas Costello Memorial Scholarship, Erica Ault. Dr. Harold Paul Coxon, Class of 1921 Scholarship, Peter Verderami. The Farmers and Mechanics Bank, James Dugan. First Presbyterian Church Scholarship, David Burris, Kelly Darling, Christopher Welch, Elizabeth Grondike, and Joseph Hanlon. The Wendy Beth Fisher Memorial Scholarship, Amanda Parker. Fraternal Order of Police, Morristown Police Lodge number 109 Scholarship, Cassie Armstead Williams, Ann Gordon, Sarah Shelley, Matthew Dallin, Morgan Gaida, and Mark Thompson. GFWC Women's Club of Morristown, Jordan DeMedia.
Good evening. My name is Tom Degnan, and I'd like to congratulate these people on their accomplishments. The Barbara Morris Hume Scholarship, Lisa Mitchell. The Rita P. Johnson Scholarship, Laura Neruda. Junior Women's Club of Greater Morristown Community Service Award, Jamie Carlisle. Beth Canuck Memorial Scholarship, Andrew Hipple. Florence Kerr Mathematics Award, Matt Goldberg. Links Incorporated Rancocas Valley Chapter Scholarship, Vanessa Williams. George Masters Senior Memorial Scholarship, Mark Thompson. Howard H. Mayer Memorial Scholarship, Kristen Seal. E. Gordon McKinnon Memorial Scholarship, Lisa Reindell. Morristown High School Alumni Scholarships, Kyle Capel, Jennifer McCormick, Shrikant Narasimhan, and Jake Wright. The Kathleen Tolman Scholarship, Breanne Rosner. Visual Award, Dan Hodges and Maria Hooper. Vocal Award, Joseph Castle and Melissa Killian. Theater Award, Christopher Newcomer. Cross Cultural Award, Heather Albert. Instrumental Award, Ritvij Barry, Daniel Karoff, and Christine Owen. Morristown Education Association Scholarship, Carly Frindner.
Good evening, my name is Jennifer McCormick, and I would like to extend my congratulations to the following people. For the Teresa Wolf Kuschel Scholarship, Jay Phillips. The Morristown Home and School Association Scholarship, Andy Howe. The Clark Bucko Memorial Scholarship, Ritvij Barry. The Morristown Home and School Association, Jordan DeMedio, Heather Holmes, Kathleen Ho, Brandon Ott, Allison Tweedy. The Jones Solo Award, Christopher Newcomer. The Morristown Home and School Association and Special Recognition Scholarships, Erica Ault, Courtney Reese, David Burris, Andrew Spinelli, John Rodejo. The Morristown Improvement Association, Jessica Weaver, Jay Phillips. The Morristown Minority Civic Association, Cassie Armstead Williams, Malik Glenn, Zakia Pierre, Benjamin Doyle, Heather Holmes, Vanessa Williams, Ziania Wright. The Republican Club of Morristown, Ann Gordon. Morristown Service Club Council Good Citizen Scholarship, Brandon Ott. The Morristown Soccer Club Scholarship, Jordan DeMedio. In addition, Sam Bishop and Christopher Welch. The Multicultural Club of Morristown High School, Tiffany Anderson and Deandra Wright. Morristown Youth Baseball Federation, the Anthony Neary Scholarship, Brandon Ott.
Good evening, Shrikant Narasimhan, and I'd like to congratulate the following people on their accomplishments. Edward W. Petrillo, Sr. and Sylvia C. Petrillo Memorial Scholarship, Brian Lehman. Paul Resnick Memorial Scholarship, Joseph Hanlon. The E.C. and Amanda Rett Scholar Athlete Award, Zakia Pierre. The Dr. Mary E. Roberts Scholarship, Ritvij Barry, Andrew Howe, Ziania Wright, David Burris, and Patrick Meany. The Mary E. Roberts Carl Hensinger Memorial Award, Rachel Chumney and Paul Trauma. The Morristown Rotary Breakfast Club Scholarship, David Burris, Jamie Carlisle, Daniel Corvalli, Rebecca Dryden, Morgan Guide, Brandon Kristen Cameron, David Carvalho, Stephanie Defonso, Elizabeth Growendike, Christopher Newcomer, Elizabeth Peacock, and Jay Phillips. The Morristown Rotary Breakfast Club, Senator William P. Haynes Memorial Scholarship, Mark Thompson. The Rotary Club of Morristown Scholarship, Heather Albert, Jordan Benevio, Elizabeth Faulkner, Christine Olson, Kristen Schranke, Sarah Spieler, Mark Thompson, Mark Barnes, Matthew Farmer, Lisa Mitchell, Brandon Ott, Matthew Selzler, and Allison Tweedy. The Rotary Club of Morristown Special Music Award, Paul Tromlin, Christopher Newcomb. The Brian C. Shapiro Memorial Scholarship, Matthew Farmer. The Shopwright of Mount Laurel, Matthew Parvin. The Albert Tom Nemitz Memorial Scholarship, Matthew Down. And can we get that beach ball going again?
Good evening, my name is Kathleen Ho, and I have the honor of recognizing a number of my peers who have won scholarships. The Stephen Thomason Memorial Art Scholarship, Michael Grace. Robert G. Van Scouter, Pat Ellis Memorial Scholarship, Andrew Spinelli. And the runners-up are David Burris and Mark Thompson. White Cell Construction Company Scholarship, Anthony Gallia. The Wiseman Club of Morristown Scholarship, Brandon Ott. The Howard G. Evans Memorial Scholarship, Erica Holt. The William H. Cromley Memorial Scholarship, Andrew Spinelli and Julie Spinelli. The Walter E. Rothenbart Morristown High School Class of 1930 Memorial Scholarship, Joseph Hanlon. The Sergeant Jeffrey D. Young Scholarship, Brian Pasternak. The Robert C. Bird Honors Scholarship, Daniel Carroll. I now have the pleasure of introducing our class of 2001 valedictorian, Peter Bergeroni.
The day of graduation is a time when we as seniors look back on 4 years of accomplishment, rejoice in the present moment, and look forward toward the future. One world is closing forever behind us, and another world is opening before us. From now on, each of us is going to be expected to make certain decisions concerning our lives. Our parents and the other adults in our lives are no longer going to be there at every moment. So how will each of us deal with this burdensome gift of independence and responsibility? I believe that the answer to this question lies in the practice of understanding the significance and meaning of the past, the present, and the future. First, the past can teach us how to succeed. We must try to replicate past accomplishments and learn from the errors as well. We must strive to always overcome disappointment and not be too overjoyed with success. Neither victory nor defeat will last forever. Each one of us should take the lessons learned in high school and apply them to our future endeavors. We all have been lucky enough to grow up in such a supportive and nurturing environment as Morristown High School. And it is crucial that we take these 4 years of development and experience and apply them to every single day of our lives. Use your experience to enrich your life and make every new day the best day of your life. The present is a time to apply experience toward the goal of a promising future. As human beings, we only have control over the next second or moment. And overlooking this limited gift would be an egregious error. Life is an accumulation of tiny moments, and we must learn to cherish and take complete advantage of every second. During this past year, I have been guilty of concentrating on the coming years of high school, of college, or reminiscing on past high school accomplishments and in the process, I have let several valuable moments slip through my grasp. We all must learn to concentrate more on the 6 inches in front of our faces, rather than aimlessly looking further down the road of life or looking back on our past accomplishments. Now, I am not endorsing a philosophy of simply indulging oneself in pleasure with no regard for the future. I am merely asserting the principle that we should all strive to come closer toward each of our goals every day of our lives. I call upon each and every one to look at each new day as a day with the golden possibility of advancing your dream. When looking toward the future, it is common to see only success and happiness in the years to come. But as I have previously stated, no life is filled with only sublime happiness and success. There will be days when we fall short in both regards. But it is paramount that we don't lose heart during these tumultuous times, because the true testament of a person is how he deals with adversity. Set your goals and don't be content until they are achieved. Don't let society or convention prevent us from realizing our inner ambitions. Dare to dream and fulfill those dreams, no matter how hard the struggle, because life is something that has to be fought for every day. Yes, the future can be scary, but the future is ultimately what you make of it every day of your life. No one event or finite time period in one's life should ever completely define that person's life. I challenge every senior here today to make the coming years even better than the previous 18 through the process of learning from mistakes, seizing the moment, and carefully planning ahead to what will hopefully be a bright future. Thank you. And now, I would like to introduce Thomas Stegman for the presentation of the class gift.
As the class of 2001 leaves Morristown High School, we'd like to leave behind a scores table for the gymnasium to be used at various sporting events. Thank you. At this time, I'd like to introduce Jen McCormick, who's going to present the gifts to the class advisors.
Hi, I have had the opportunity to work with all 3 of our class officers. The first one we had was Miss Brown, and she was with us for 2 years and helped us plan the freshman and sophomore events. And then we had Mrs. Rowe, who was with us for the last 2 years, and without whom such activities as the prom would not have been possible. And lastly, we had Mr. Kravitz, who stayed with us all 4 years. So, just as a token of our appreciation, we have a gift certificate for you, so if all 3 of you could come up here, please.
You gotta watch your mouth.
Now the Morristown High School Concert Band is going to play our alma mater. Everyone, please join me in singing.
Good evening. My name is Allison Merriam, and now for a few remarks, I would like to introduce the Morristown Board of Education President. She has been a board member for the past 11 years and has served as president for 10. Mrs. Cindy Wolfsberg.
It is my privilege to share this graduation with you and offer congratulations from the Moorestown Board of Education. As board members, we are sworn state officials, obligated to ensure that you receive a thorough and efficient education. That's the official directive, all that is required by law. Of course, for you, we want much more. Your parents and teachers are not the only ones hoping you will always strive for excellence with an ever-increasing standard. Your community, town, state, and federal government have organized to prepare you for your future as a citizen through your public education. Your education is fundamental to all of us, and many people have paid a great deal of attention to it. The courses you have been required to take, the books you have read, the teachers who instructed you, the buildings in which you have studied, the fields on which you have played, and the cost of all of that have all been topics of intense scrutiny and debate. We are fortunate to be in a place where so many people attend so carefully to your needs, since all will share in our collective successes and failures. And all of this preparation for life culminates in this ceremony here today. A rite of passage duly recorded with photographs, speeches, and processions. A significant occasion marked with appropriate respect and attention. My recollections of my own graduations in the distant past are pretty vague. I remember very little about the speeches, no small comfort to me today. But the memories I have are very personal. How I felt about the ceremonies, the caps and gowns I had to wear, my plans with my friends, which family members were able to come to share my day. As a parent of graduating seniors, my thoughts were partly nostalgic, remembering the babies who grew into kindergartners, leaving home for their first day of school, and somehow, in a very short time, were willful young adults with summer plans that left me breathless. But I was also full of excitement and concern for their next big step: college, graduate school, or a new job. Graduation day meant family reunions, concern for elderly relatives on a hot day, travel arrangements, and hopes that the video would turn out to be of the students and not the grass or the back of the person in front of me. A number of us here today attend many graduations without one particular graduate in mind. Our perspective is a little different, as we pay more attention to the entire event, instead of trying to catch the eye of a son or daughter for a wink of acknowledgement. There are small things that make an impression. Every conceivable type of shoe, for instance, the health and vitality of the graduates. There are the inevitable bursts of youthful enthusiasm and individuality, the beach balls, silly string, the occasional flip off the platform. Please don't take these as suggestions. I happened to see news coverage of Chelsea Clinton's graduation from Stanford this week, where they have abandoned a formal procession and instead have something they call the wacky walk. Graduates are encouraged to break for the field in, quote, whimsical and wild abandon, unquote, and find a place to sit on the grass. In evidence were angel wings, kites, and mouse ears. To be a nonconformist at Stanford, you have to walk in shoes, cap and gown, and sit in a chair. There are always wonderful student speeches, fine music, and tearful families. But the point of the whole exercise, if it is a wacky walk or a formal procession, is that we are all here together to help you move on. A rite of passage is just that, and it exists to help us all proceed to a new phase of our lives. You need to break away, and we need to let you go. And so we formalize this passage to help us all find a new path for families and loved ones here today, but a path forged from the universal needs of all people everywhere. Your education has been designed to provide you the tools that will be necessary for a successful future for all of us. You may indeed find a cure for cancer and contribute to world peace. We sincerely hope so. You may even find yourself in the audience at a ceremony like this someday, with a tear in your eye, wondering where all the time went. It is indeed a privilege to share this occasion with you. I join with everyone here today to celebrate your accomplishments and express sincere confidence in your future. Congratulations and best wishes to the class of 2001.
It gives me great pleasure to introduce our principal. Dr. Schilling was a graduate of Morristown High just a few years ago. She taught health and physical education and coached at MHS for 14 years, was assistant principal for 7 years, and has been principal for the past 4. That is over 24 years of service. Our principal, Dr. Lynn Schilling.
Thank you, Allison. I would like to take this opportunity to thank your assistant principal, Mr. Gary Gagnon, for planning this ceremony. He has respectfully asked not to actively participate so that he can be in the receiving line to offer congratulations to you. He came here when you arrived 4 years ago, and we wish him well as he graduates with you this evening. I'd also like to thank the parents. I'd like to thank you for your support of our young people and our school system. And thank you to the Board of Education and to Central Administration for your commitment to our students and staff. And thank you to our esteemed faculty. Before you are seated the results of your commitment and dedication to excellence. I ask you, faculty, please stand and be recognized by your students and the community. To our seniors. To our seniors, your parents, your teachers, staff members, and I acknowledge our pride in you this evening. You have been an extraordinary class. As you are aware, our school mission statement is to strive toward excellence, particularly in the areas of academics, athletics, and aesthetics. We have traditionally represented these 3 areas as 3 interlocking circles. In all 3, you have accomplished remarkable feats. These 3 elements have been an important part of your last 4 years. And I would like to recap a few of your accomplishments I think the community would like to know. In academics, first and foremost, your contribution to the Blue Ribbon process, which validates your many strengths and contributions. Your consistently high test scores, which rank you among the best in the state. The honor of being ranked as one of the top 10 schools in the state. And the local honors in academic disciplines for competitions in the county. In athletics, 12 conference championships, 8 for 8 in the fall, which may be a state record. 8 South Jersey championships, 4 state championships. Of the 25 varsity teams, 23 qualified for the state tournament. In aesthetics, our theater and musical groups consistently perform to capacity crowds at home and bring honor to our school in featured performances at Rutgers University and Carnegie Hall. The greatest contribution of our seniors was to reinstitute the winter holiday program for our student body after more than a decade. Additionally, in music, we have 1 All-State winner, 11 All-South Jersey honorees, 30 Western Burlington County Band and Orchestra winners, 2 students honored at the Burlington County Teen Arts Festival. And I'm sure you are aware of the phenomenal art displays during the concerts and in the library. In forensics and competition at the Ivy Leagues, 29 gavels, 2 top speakers awards, 3 top attorney awards, 1 state oratory championship, and 1 state championship in forensics. And most recently, just the other day, we have a senior who placed 5th in the United States and its territories in the National Forensic League competition. But you are unique. Your class has left a legacy that is unique to the class of 2001. Because of your efforts in community service, we have added altruism to the other 3 circles. Altruism, by definition, is the unselfish regard for or devotion to the welfare of others. Through the efforts of organizations like Interact and Honor and Service Society, our students, with senior leadership, raised $10,000 in fundraising activities for charitable causes and $5,000 in grant money for a literacy project, as well as tutoring, working with senior citizens, projects for the poor, volunteering at hospitals and schools. Seniors, the #1 flag and the National School of Excellence flag are being flown in your honor this evening. I am often asked, where did the time go? The time went to studying, rehearsing, practicing, wearing the colors, representing your alma mater, giving to others, and making us proud. This is your claim to fame. And seniors, it just does not get any better than this. You are outstanding. I could not ask any more from you than what you have given. Please know that I am very proud of you. And may I please give you first to offer you my congratulations. And now, Dr. Germanario, Superintendent of Schools, may I recommend to you the senior class of 2001 to receive their diplomas. I will attest that each has fulfilled all of the requirements of the state of New Jersey and the Board of Education of Morristown Township. And may I proudly present to you the successful scholars and good citizens of this graduating class.
members of our Board of Education, staff, parents, friends, and relatives. Before I begin my remarks to our graduates tonight, I'd like to recognize our principal, Dr. Lynn Schilling. As you know, Dr. Schilling will be retiring on June 30th. Thus, this will be the last time she will be presiding over a formal graduation ceremony. To that end, on behalf of our entire school community, I'd like to thank Dr. Schilling for her almost 25 years of dedicated service to the students of the Morristown High School. We will surely miss you. I'd now like to address the remainder of my remarks to the graduates. We're here to celebrate your success. You have sufficient knowledge, skills, and attitude to meet the rigorous demands of the Morristown High School. Yet unfortunately, in many ways, real life isn't like school or like the textbook. It isn't organized ahead of time. There's no one to underline the correct passages or answers, no teacher to point out the most important facts, no study guide to help you prepare for Friday's quiz or for your final exam. In many ways, real life is a puzzle. You put it together as you live it. Sometimes you get the answer as you go. Unfortunately, sometimes you never really get the answer. How then can you expect to continue to be successful after you graduate from Morristown High School? Well, I've watched many people in various lines of endeavor striving to be the best. And I've tried to determine what qualities these people have in common. Whether they were baseball pitchers trying to pitch a perfect game, a researcher trying to find a better way to solve a problem, or a composer trying to create the perfect musical score. What I found is that all these people have complete dedication to their goals. They display greater knowledge than their competitors. They're willing to put forth extra effort necessary for perfection. And probably most importantly, they never settle to be second best. Yet the success I'd like to speak about tonight is not about an outward show like this evening, but instead an inward feeling. In the beginning, as a feeling, and then as a knowledge that you are truly worthwhile. You see, regardless of how the rest of the world may value you, there'll be no fooling the Bureau of Internal Standards that each of you have. I believe it was Albert Schweitzer who said, "I can't know if your destiny will bring success, but one thing I do know. The ones among you who will be really successful and really happy are those who have sought and found ways to serve." The question then may become, to be successful, how can I develop the capacity to serve? In other words, what actions can I take to demonstrate a commitment to others? I'd like to share several ways I think this can happen. First, listen. Be receptive to what others have to say. You'll learn more about their needs and their desires, and you can use them to help you. Heal. Seek ways to promote healing for the broken spirits and emotions you or others may experience. Trust and build. Through trusting others and developing relationships, you're able to work and interact at a more meaningful level. Never stop learning. But seek to be wise as well as knowledgeable. This means growing, developing, and emerging as a person, and eventually as a member of a profession. Dream. Remain rooted in the past, live in the present, and focus on the future. In a practical way, take full advantage of the opportunities that come your way, and do your very best to build upon them. And finally, have fun. Do more than just exist for material things. Live, love, and try your best to find time each day to laugh. Thank you and good luck. It now gives me great pleasure to present the 2001 graduating class of the Morristown High School to our school board.
Okay, graduates, are you ready? Peter Michael Veterani. Kristen Renee Carlin. Timothy Alfred Naylor. Jennifer Lynn McCormick. Mark Richard Thompson. Kathleen Ching-Ing Ho. Thomas Francis Degnan III. Allison Lee Merriam. Shurkant Kalathor Narasiam. Erica Faith Alt. Christopher James Atchison. Lisa Marie Anderson. Chad Stephen Armstrong. Tiffany Jeanette Anderson. David Lee Askenace. Cassandra Mabel Armstead Williams. Colin Duffy Bach. Lauren Gail Aruda. Mark Andrew Barnes.
Yeah, Mark? Okay, fireman.
Heather Sharon Orbert. Samuel Nepian Bishop. Lisa Renee Barbasio. Ezekiel Wade Boren. Jennifer Lynn Finter. Rickage Bowery. Courtney Brennan. Jeffrey Allen Brandamarto. Lauren H. Grassi. Edward G. Briganti III. Kristen Marie Cameron. Dominic Joseph Badassi. Jessica Ann Carlton. David Andrew Barris. Jamie Marie Carlisle. Patrick Michael Burns. Lindsay Beth Carpenter. Daniel Aaron Carroll. Stephanie Casario. Daniel Lucas Carvalho. Whitney Bryn champion.
Hey, Palm Beach.
David Lucas Carvalho. Elizabeth Rimmel Cherson. Joseph Thomas Maris Castle. Rachel Elizabeth Chumney. Michael Richard Ciccarelli. Allison Julia Coleflesh. Ryan Rudolph Cherbenka. Caitlin Kara Cummings. Kenneth Anthony Chikanovich. Jason Andrew Collier. Jacqueline M. Carell. Stephen Gregory Conlon. Kelly Marie Darling. Ryan Marshall Cross. Stephanie Lorraine DeFonso. Matthew Martin Dallin. Regina Lynn DiGiovanni.
Good, Daniel. Come on, Danny.
Michael Ray Danhon. Rebecca Ann Dryden. Ian Hayworth Delory. Deborah Ann Duva. Matthew David Devine. Rebecca Anderson Earl. Paul Peter DeFilippo. Jordan Lee DeMedio. Benjamin L. Doyle Jr. Carly Beth Brittner. James Joseph Dugan Jr.
Okay, Ben. Yeah, Doyle.
Natalie Teresa Gaines Scott. Matthew Heston Farmer. Laura Lucille Giddens. Thomas Edward Fliss. Alicia Corrine Goodman. Paul Vincent Ford. Ann Rogers Gordon. Ryan Scott Frost. Heather Lynn Graniti. Anthony Christopher Galeazzi. Elizabeth Ann Grundyke. Malik Glenn. Genevieve Christine Grossman. Matthew Emmanuel Goldberg. Aaron Winters Goodwin.
Hey, go winners!
Morgan Teresa Guida.
Hey, neighbor, good job!
Michael Ridgway Grace. Stephanie Patricia Hall.
There you go.
Lucas John Haddon. Amanda Emily Hale. Joseph David Hamlin. Allison Lindsay Hay.
Oh, he's graduating.
Andrew Howe. Heather Nicole Ann Holmes. Michael Gabriel Heisler. Maria Rose Hooper. Andrew C. Hipple. Daniel Thomas Hodges. Virginia Marie Jackson. Benjamin Scott Hoffman. Darcy Ann Jester. Joseph Stephen Iannoli. Erica Maria Johnston. Douglas Carl Ingersoll. Annetta Capron. Kyle David Capel. Erin Suzanne Kelly. Dimitri Thomas Karanzalis. Zara Khan.
Good job, Zara.
We're halfway done, guys.
Oh, Vito, move over a little bit. You're blocking the sun.
Elizabeth Anderson Faulkner. Kevin Michael Ketchum.
Hey, go, Mikey! Go, Mikey! Calvin!
Alyssa Nicole Killian. Christopher Corey Knapp. Noreen Kristen Marie Koza. Stephen Todd Kramer. Julia Florence Cooter. Eric Louis Kravitz. Courtney Christina Lagath. Andrew Henry Kutcher. Erin Connell Liber. Brian Allen Lehman. Nadia Malik. Everett Leonard Lindholm.
Lenny! Good job, Lenny! Stand up, guys.
Shazia Malik. Melissa Catherine Mann. Sean Matthew McGee. Corrine R. Martin. Charles Chung-Yi Mao. Andrea C. Mayer. Ryan David Matlack.
Good job, guys. Congratulations to you.
Jennifer Lynn McAndress. Joseph Patrick McAleer. Jessica Caitlin McGeehan. Ryan Scott McCooley. Kelly Marie Mishler. William Michael McGinley. Lisa Rose Mitchell.
That's my mic.
Timothy Ryan Murphy.
Yeah, Murphy.
Jane Catherine Morley. Michelle Beverly Mueller. Adam Jeffrey Nafias. Tamara L. O'Donnell. Patrick Russell Neiman. Teresa May Ola. Christopher Daniel Newcomer. Christine Marie Olson. Brandon William Ott. Anna Oppenheim. Bradley John Palmer.
He does.
Amanda Marie Parker. Stephen Frank Palmer. Matthew Warner Harbin. Elizabeth Helen Peacock. Brian Patrick Pasternak. Stephanie Lynn Petrillo. J. Stevenson Phillips. Catherine Ann Patron. Mihai Alexander Pop. Zakia Injamale Pierre. Danielle Nicole Pope. Benjamin John Schilling. Elizabeth Ann Ron. Andrew William Sell. Courtney Marie Angela Reese. Matthew John Selsler. Lisa Marie Reindell.
Hi, Courtney.
Eric Van Silk.
There you go, boy. Yes, Silver. All right, Silver.
Stephanie Melissa Reinish. Karanvir Singh.
Yeah, Karan. There you go, Karan.
Danielle Grace Renner.
Come on.
Matthew Robert Slotman. Brianne Rosner. Craig Andrew Spinelli. Kristen Marie Schmanke. Paul K. Stritt. Kristen Elizabeth Seal. Brandon David Sire.
Oh, we'll take care of that later.
Sarah Barbara Shelley. Shiraz A. Syed. Maya Hamali Shetty. Patrick Shusak. Tiffany Ann Slackway. Robert Giuseppe Tantero. Allison Rittenhouse Smith.
There you go, Tantero, buddy.
Paul Jacob Tromelin. Laura Marie Spavling.
Wow, I have no idea what that means.
Benjamin Bo Trump. Julie Ann Spinelli. John Verdejo.
Hey, John! Hey, John!
Sarah Elizabeth Spuler. David William Bolzone. Anne Margaret Strozeski. David Weiner. Babidi Chakor. Christopher James Welch. Allison Elizabeth Tweedy. Matthew Brian Wisnowski. Siobhan Alish Wagner.
Nice turn, baby. Nice turn. Nice turn.
Jeffrey Thomas Wolf. Lindsay Campbell Walker. Jake Richard Wright.
Yes, Jake! Yes, JD! Oh, yeah.
Jeffrey R. Zellner. Jessica Marie Weaver. Marissa Kathleen Weaver. Muriel Karina Weberbauer. Vanessa A. Williams. Monica Lee Wright. Ziania Orlean Wright. The class of 2001.
This is it. Can you believe it? High school has been 4 years, but we've been together for so much longer than that. For many of us, the journey began in kindergarten, moved through middle school, and is culminating today as we finish high school. We have made friendships that will last a lifetime. Many will end today. The time spent at Morristown High School will impact on all of us in some way for the rest of our lives. Here, we have been exposed to an incredible education, a first-rate faculty, and above all, quality people. What we have gotten out of high school has been largely dependent on our own motivation. Benjamin Franklin, one of the great early minds of our nation, once said, "Do not squander time, for it is the stuff life is made of." I stand before you to confirm that our time here has been well spent. High school did not always seem as easy as it has during the final month of senior year. Remember that first month of freshman year? For many of us, it seemed impossible to adjust to the rigors of high school. Fortunately, if you are here, you are able to discover that you are not alone and that Morristown is full of people eager to see you excel. This is obvious. Our class of 2001 has been one of the most successful classes academically, athletically, aesthetically, and of course, altruistically. Due to our experiences here, we will be well prepared to move on to excellent universities and colleges or to join the workforce. All of these benefits have come thanks to our hard work and work by others on our behalf. As Shakespeare wrote, "There's a time for all things." There was a time for high school. That time has come and gone. Often, when we look back on our schooling up through high school, it will feel as though it came and went as quickly as Billy Madison's second trip through high school. Fortunately, the knowledge that we have gained and the friendships we have made will last much longer. Each and every one of you will forever be a member of Morristown's class of 2001, the greatest class ever.
At ease, sir! At ease, Captain! Let's get... Look, 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 Go!